Rob CWV along for another week. Hope you tuned in to NASCAR with me last week with the FTA guys, the college kids, because we absolutely kicked NASCAR's ass. 5-0. 5-0 on the week. Moved to 17-5 on the season since the All-Star break. We started bringing you these video updates with the FTA team. I'm Rob CWV, and we're winning right now. Now, the regression fairy comes for all of us, so understand that. Nothing's going to be perfect. Frankly, 5 picks was too many last week. But we hit them all. Worked out pretty well. A couple in the trucks. Corey Heim, we gave you a top 5 at plus money. Won the whole damn thing at 700. Take that. Gave you Christian Eckes over Tyler Ankrum, who was fast all weekend, but not fast late in the race. That's a winner. Xfinity side, John Hunter Nemechek. We gave you a top 5 at plus 170. He was an outright winner at 1,400. That's what we told you in the notes. It wasn't the full screen. Wasn't the font. But we said if you got to place an outright in that Xfinity race, you wanted Barry and Nemechek at 1,400. We'll cash one if you threw a little pocket change at that one. Atlanta, no one's happy with the way the Sunday race went down. It was a great race, fun to watch, fast. The track is getting better now in their 3rd or 4th run on the new format at Atlanta. But it rained. They shut it off early. William Byron was leading. William Byron won. Had the race gone full length, he might not have. That's now his 2nd Atlanta win. That is his 4th win of the season. He leads the league in wins and is down to 700 or lower on that season championship card bet. So, Cup race, we were 2-0. Martin Truex over teammate Ty Gibbs in a matchup. That was a winner. And Ryan Blaney, who's basically a money printing machine in Atlanta, top 10, 8th. But again, if the race goes longer, if it doesn't go to rain delay, he gets into that top 5 and probably pays you some more. There was some 245 top 5 out there I bought on and lost, but I would do it again every week. Where are we going this week? New Hampshire. Bob Barr's track, been open now 30 years near Loudon, New Hampshire. It's a mile-ish. It's flat, almost no banking. If you want to measure it, see how guys did at Richmond, how guys did at Martinsville, how guys did at Iowa, if they have any Xfinity Series or truck record at Iowa. There's a couple other ARCA places that kind of match it, but it's somewhat unique. It's the longest flat track of this nature. Guys go down a lap quickly. You're probably only maybe 15 cars on the lead lap by the end of the day, so there's a little bit of a Dover ingredient to it in terms of reaction time and how quickly the field separates out. No trucks this week. Next week we're at Pocono, and what we know from the last 3 or 4 years of doing this on a pretty high-level basis, New Hampshire and Pocono are 2 of the most unique and predictable tracks. So these are usually good weeks for us, but I can't top 5-0. So we'll see what we can do. Come close, get you out there with a few New Hampshire Xfinity and New Hampshire Cup picks. Enormous favorite, or pretty enormous in Cup terms, is Christopher Bell. He's going to price out. He opened at 700 down to 550, 600 most places. He's won here once. He near missed the year before. Has won 3 Xfinity races and a trucks back when they still ran trucks here. This is his best track. This is his deal. This is a place that is uniquely built for him, for Eric Almirola, who's rarely good, but this is one of his great tracks. He was a winner 2 years ago. And the other guy I have my eye on is Ryan Priest, the flat track specialist out of Connecticut, who's now in that 4th car at SHR. And they've been slow all year, but look at how good he was at LA Coliseum, at Martinsville. And this is kind of a place that he loves. Martin Truex also is great here. It's his perfect style track. He's dominated, I think, 3 of the last 4 races. Hasn't won one yet. Has never won a Cup race at New Hampshire, which is interesting. But he will be in our card today. He and Hamlin are bracketed right behind Christopher Bell, right around 700. Probably the best price you're going to get for any of those guys. Beyond that, drops off pretty quickly. Byron out at 1,200. Kyle Busch out around 1,000, as is Larson. This is historically one of Kevin Harvick's great tracks, but I can't trust him at 1,000 or 1,200. We just know he's not as fast. He's good here. He stays in the mix here. But this is a short race. What do we said? Kevin Harvick's team doesn't usually have a ton of speed. It's an adjustment race. It's a pit stop race for him. This is a 300-mile race. Laps a little over a mile, but it's basically a 301 lap race, effectively. I just have a hard time trusting him. That'll play to one of our matchups we've taken today on the Cup race. Beyond that, like we said, you're going to end the day with maybe no more than 13, 15, 18 cars in the lead lap. There's not a lot of shot here for long shots in the field to win this race. The only way that happens, it's like Dover. It's very predictable. It's the very top of the field. Ignore everybody after the top 12 or 13 cars. But the problem is this. another summer rain weekend in NASCAR. Oh, and New Hampshire doesn't have lights. So if you get rain in the afternoon, you can't extend into the evening, you've got to shorten. It's not going to be a good situation if we have to go to the game. So that brings you that unpredictability where somebody can sneak a win, somebody can sneak a pit strategy, somebody can stay out in front of the field when it's about to rain, like Haley a few years ago at Daytona, and steal one of these. That's why I'm not super in love with making a win bet or really, really ratcheting up units for this weekend. Cool with matchups, not cool with making an assumption twice through some in-race, and see what happens with those. So, okay, let's get on to the picks. Xfinity, John Hunter Nemechek is a huge favorite here. He's down on 250-300 coming off the win last week. Loved him last week. Don't love him this week. He's good on this style track, but he's no more dominant this track than some other guys have been. Barry and others. He's just too expensive around 300. I don't like that. The guys I do like, if I had to throw a couple win bets out there, again, these are darts. These are not the official picks. Chandler Smith at 12-1. Sheldon Creed was the top 5 here and is really good on this style track as well. He's out there at 2,500, or even there's a 3,000 out there if you hurry. I'm talking to you right now, Wednesday after lunch Eastern time. So I like those. Again, not sure things, but they're going to be integrated into our picks in the week. Here's what we're going to do. Xfinity race. They'll practice qualify Friday afternoon. They will run the race Saturday afternoon. What do we like from there? Well, the two guys I said. Let's go Chandler Smith, -110 over Sam Mayer. This is not the right track for Mayer. The computer says he's maybe the 10th best car in the field. Chandler Smith, 3rd or 4th. Smith has been great at Richmond. He's been great at the style tracks, and his equipment's really, really good this year. I don't think he's getting as much credit as he should be compared to Nemechek at the top of these fields. So Chandler Smith in a matchup over Sam Mayer from Dale Jr.'s team that is not working this year. And Sheldon Creed hopefully gets a finish. It feels like he wrecks every week. He's fast, and then something happens. Sheldon Creed -110 over Riley Herbst. Herbst is getting better. He's getting more consistent. He's locking in top 10s for the playoffs. But Sheldon Creed, this is a style track that really matches him in terms of tire wear, and he was really good last year. I thought he could have stolen it last year and ends up finishing 5th. I love Creed, and maybe he's my man crush, like Eric Jones was last year. Creed over Herbst, I think, is a makeable putt. Both those guys to win, just tiny, but take your matchups there. On to Sunday, and those guys from Sunday Cup will practice qualify on Saturday afternoon. Again, if rain scraps the whole thing, we'll go to what they call metric qualifying, which basically means who's been fast for the last 3 or 4 weeks. There's a computer formula. That probably won't change what we're looking at a lot. Track position matters here, but you're not buried unless you're going to start in 38th or something. So I'm not too worried about that. But for the Cup guys, looking ahead, there's one matchup I like. I'm only seeing it one place. You may have trouble finding it. It's an official play, but you're going to have to go shopping for it. It's Larson. Kyle Larson, essentially plus money, even money, +100 versus Kevin Harvick. I've only seen it at Wynn. You need to look around. I know Wynn's a lousy operation online. It's not in very many states. But they just opened in West Virginia recently, and they're the only one showing this. And I will take Larson over Harvick in a match. I don't care what Harvick's record is, his history. I don't care. I'll take Larson over that every week. Larson's been good enough here, and he's so good on tire wear tracks like Richmond. I absolutely take that. 2 easy, chalky picks into the rest of the Cup plays. We talked about Bell and Truex. They're the favorites. If you put a gun to my face, I had to buy an expensive car this week, it'd be Bell. The 700s are gone. There's a little bit of 600 and 650 left to be Bell to win. This is Bell's track. But the safe, chalky pick for this nice, normal 1-unit play project we do on these videos, Bell, top 5. There's some 100 out there at 365. There's actually +107 at Tipico. I don't know what Barstool's got. They've been offline all week. They're doing some maintenance and rebuilding the site. But basically, I would go Bell, top 5, even money. Take the plus if you can get it. And same thing for Truex. Truex, top 5, even money. Might see a little bit of plus money there pre-qualifying. Get those. I think they get more expensive. I think those guys are really, really good here. You know what's going to get more expensive? This. Right now it's free, but if we keep being this good, more 5-0 weeks, something's got to happen. We are 17-5 on the young season. We're 5-0 last week. Let's see if we can go 5-0 at New Hampshire. I'm Rob CWV. Thanks to everybody from the college kids, FTA, the whole gang. Let's go to New Hampshire. Let's win some NASCAR.